When Dead Rising got announced for a remaster, I was super excited to play it. Considering Dead Rising was my first zombie game that I ever played when I got an Xbox 360 for my 10th birthday. And in my last video, I covered a remaster of another one of my favorite zombie games. So I guess you could say that I enjoy them. Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster has 45 bronze trophies, 2 silver trophies, and 3 gold. Pretty rare that a game has more gold than silver trophies. Including the platinum, that brings our total trophy count to 51 trophies. So let's go save Willamette once again and experience a refined version of one of the greatest zombie games ever made. Right away, the graphics blew me away with how good they looked. This was made on the RE engine, which is what all the newer Resident Evil games are made on, so it's not surprising that these graphics were really nice. Right away, we get introduced to our main character, Frank West, who is here in Willamette, Colorado to get a big scoop because something has happened in this small town.
Willamette, Colorado. Population 53,594.
And as soon as we get access to our camera to take pictures of the town, I earn the first trophy. I think it's so funny how these people are getting mauled by zombies and Frank and the pilot have no idea what's going on. Like, this lady is literally shooting these zombies, just save her. Oh, she's dead. After landing on the helipad on top of the mall we will be spending the next 72 hours in, we are met with the man telling us that we shouldn't have come here. And upon entering the safe room for the first time, I earn another trophy. Upon entering the mall, we see a group of survivors who have built a barricade in front of the doors to keep the zombies out. But this old lady has different plans. We see a girl that definitely won't be important later, and then the old lady somehow fights off everyone and unlocks the door to let the zombies in to try to save her dog, which she doesn't even save. After we escape up the stairs, we meet a few of our main cast throughout the game. This lady is Jessie, and the man we met in the yellow shirt is Brad. And this is Otis. He's going to be letting us know about scoops, which are side quests for survivors and bosses called psychopaths. There are multiple trophies tied to these side quests, as well as a trophy for answering 30 of these calls. I saved the first 2 survivors and escort them back into the safe room. But Brad is now in trouble and we have to go help him. But Frank, do you even know how to use a gun?
Kinda. I've covered wars, you know.
In the mall for the first time, I earned a trophy for hitting 5 zombies at once with a bowling ball. And the first scoop I get introduces us to Kent. He's also a photographer, but not as cool as Frank. As we make our way to the food court to help Brad, we are caught under fire by the guy who greeted us on the rooftop. His name is Carlito, and he's the main antagonist of this game. After a boss fight of me just spamming the R2 button, he manages to escape, but where does he even go? Frank then presses Brad for answers about what is going on here, and pulls out a photo of an old man we took when we first entered the mall. Eventually, Brad comes around and agrees to work with us and tells us that they are indeed looking for that man in the picture. Making our way to the entrance plaza where the old man is located, Brad tries to convince him to come to the safe room, but he's not budging. His name is Dr. Barnaby, and he knows something. After a failed attempt at escorting him back to the safe room, we learn about queens, which if you kill one causes all the zombies in a short radius to die. Back at the safe room, we let Jessie know the situation and she tries to contact HQ to get us a route out of here, but all the lines are jammed. So we let them know about our ride that's coming in 3 days and tell them it's cool if they come along as long as they tell them what's going on around here. And after every case, we have a period of time where we have to wait for the next one. So this is the perfect time to do scoops and other things around the mall. This game is all about time management and making sure you do everything in that 72-hour time period. When I head out into the park, I meet the convicts. How did they get here? Anyway, they will try to run you down along with any survivors you come through here, so make sure you take them out. But they do respawn every day, so also keep that in mind. While fighting them, I earned the trophy bullet point for firing off 300 bullets. And then after I jump off the roof of Colombian Roastmasters, I earned the trophy free fall. Shortly after, I take down our first psychopath, Adam the Clown. I think that psychopaths are a major highlight in the Dead Rising series. While they are survivors in a way, they are also way past the point of return in terms of saving them. But after we take down Adam, we get a trophy for defeating one psychopath and have access to one of the best weapons in the game, the mini chainsaw. And now I can save Greg and open up a shortcut between Wonderland Plaza and Paradise Plaza, and earn a trophy for unlocking that shortcut. I do some prep for Kent's photo challenge and get an outtake photo of 1000 PP, and then head to the safe room and wait for the next case to start. Case 2 starts off with Carlito dragging Dr. Barnaby out of his safe space in the entrance plaza, and Brad tells us that those two are the reason that they are here in the mall. So, of course, the next logical thing to do is to go where Carlito is and get ambushed again. Dr. Barnaby is in a sticky situation, and after another boss fight with Carlito, he manages to get away, but not without injuries this time. We secure the professor and bring him back to the safe room. Now we have to go get medicine because Brad was also injured from the fight with Carlito. I'm sure this can't go wrong. This is Steve, the supermarket store manager, and he has the lady that we met in the entrance plaza at the beginning of the game, and he's also a psychopath. So let's take care of that real quick. Eve's boss probably loves him, or I guess loved him, because I assume he's a zombie now. But he definitely seems like the ideal manager you want to run your store. Seems like he really loved his job. Couldn't be me though, man.
Clean up! Register 6!
After trying to help the lady up off the ground, she refuses help and pushes us away. I'm just gonna call her Isabella from now on because that's her name. And after she runs away, I take a picture of Steven for a trophy. I also took out Cletus, the gun shop owner, so now I have an infinite supply of firearms, and more specifically shotguns. After I deliver the medicine to Jesse, we have to wait for the next case to start. Thankfully, it doesn't take long to start, and we can finally get some answers about what's going on here. The doctor has woken up. He then talks about Santa Cabeza, which is where his old research center was, but had to be destroyed due to an accidental zombie outbreak, which is where Carlito and his sister are from. Who is his sister, you ask? Well, it's Isabella. And they want revenge for what Dr. Barnaby did to their hometown. And I mean, rightfully so, I suppose. And that's all for case 3, so now we play the waiting game again. I earn a trophy for earning 10,000 PP from a photo and advance Kent's quest because not only is he a psychopath, but there's also a survivor we need to save. Then we do fight another psychopath, Cliff the PTSD war veteran. I feel really bad for this guy, but hey, it was just self-defense. And then we get introduced to the cultists. These guys are going to be throughout the mall, and there is a trophy for killing 100 of them. Case 4 starts off with Isabella on her motorcycle, so we meet up with her for another boss fight. And after the fight, she opens up and tells us everything that I've already told you about Santa Cabeza. However, Carlito knows more about the situation than Isabella does, and she promises to get us in contact with him once he fully recovers from his injuries. And now we have a while before the next case. In that time, I earn a trophy for getting 50 targets in a single photo shot, and another one for taking photos of 10 survivors. I beat the BDSM cop and the sniper family, and by the time I complete all the scoops I can, it's time to meet up with Isabella and Carlito. Except there's no Carlito. What an asshole, man, shooting your own sister? Isabella passes out and now we have to carry her to the safe room. In the safe room, we introduce Isabella to Jesse and Brad, and now she's part of the team. I get the trophy for killing 100 cultists, and then I defeat their leader Sean and get a really cool sword. Back at the safe house for the next case, Brad interrogates Isabella about everything she knows about the current situation. And then she tells Brad what I've already told you about the research facility. However, Dr. Barnaby has started to turn into a zombie. Then we find out that the government is in on it as well, which honestly, I'm not surprised. He then dies claiming he did nothing wrong. Yeah, okay, buddy. Well, really, it was the bees that started infecting people, but it's his fault at the end of the day. While waiting for case 7, I earn a trophy for killing 1,000 zombies, and then I defeat Paul. And I know I said psychopaths were past the point of saving, but this is the exception. You can save Paul and have him as a survivor. Alright, now it's time for case 7. Last resort. And the last resort is planting bombs in the maintenance tunnel to blow up the mall. Oh, and release parasitic larvae into the atmosphere. Yeah, we should probably go stop that. On the way to the maintenance tunnel, we earn the trophy for answering 30 calls. However, we make a pit stop to defeat Kent, earn a trophy for defeating 10 psychopaths, and save another survivor. In the maintenance tunnel, I earn a trophy for running a marathon, another one for running over 500 zombies with a vehicle, and collect all the bombs. There are 5 bombs in total and 1 under each plaza. After collecting all the bombs, we hurry to get out of the maintenance tunnel, and meanwhile Brad is dealing with Carlito. And this will spell the end for Brad as Carlito gets the upper hand and pushes him into the maintenance tunnel with no gun and just a flashlight. We successfully get the bombs out of the maintenance tunnel and make our way back to the safe room. Jesse, I got some news for you. Isabella tells us about Carlito's computer that he has hidden away, so we make our way to his hideout but can't access the computer without a password. But Jesse wants us to trek all the way back to the safe room to see something she found on the security camera. Surely with the quality of life changes, we just get transported there, right? Nope. Back at the safe room, we see Carlito being dragged by someone into the meat processing area. So of course, that's our next objective. But first, I had to reload an old save because I forgot to get the trophy for taking a picture of zombie Brad. And you have to do it right after case 7-2 finishes. So he slides us his gun and he has us finish the job. You were a good man, Brad. Now, how am I going to get out of here? Now that we're back on track, we headed to the butcher's shop to encounter Larry the butcher, who looks a lot different than in the original game. He plans on turning Carlito into ground beef, but we need Carlito, so we gotta stop this guy. We take Larry down and Carlito is saved and he gives up the password. Wait, what do you mean he's dead? How am I supposed to get the password, man? Well, this complicates things. With Carlito dead, there's no way for us to get into his computer. Wait, never mind. Isabella figured it out. And that's all the cases closed. But we're not done yet. Jesse calls us to let us know the emergency line has been freed up. However, it doesn't work out and they don't plan on saving us, but lets us know that special forces will arrive to clean up the area. They let Jesse know that she contacted them just in time and can evacuate her and the survivors. But it doesn't matter because Jessie is a zombie? How did this happen? She didn't get bit by Dr. Barnaby, so how is she a zombie? When we get back to the safe room, we get the trophy for seeing zombie Jessie. Still don't know how she's a zombie. Special forces do arrive at midnight and start cleaning up on the area, and we get a shot of the big bad guy leading the whole operation. But none of that matters because we got our scoop and make our way to the heliport to get picked up by our boy. But like everything else, it doesn't work out. And now that our getaway ride is gone, there's no way to escape and we have to accept our fate and let the zombies eat us. I earned the trophies 3-day survivor, humanist, and overtime mode. So let's start overtime mode. As soon as Frank is about to be bitten, Isabella saves us and transports us back to Carlito's hideout. And it looks like we got infected somehow. So Isabella sends us on a scavenger hunt for things around the mall to make a serum to stop the infection from spreading. And now we have a new type of enemy, the Special Forces. I get a trophy for defeating 10 of them, and then make my way back to Carlito's hideout to give Isabella all the supplies. But now we need queens, 5 of them to be exact. Isabella then shows us a bunch of children who are infected, and Carlito planned to spread this whole thing countrywide and eventually worldwide. Outside, we find a massive zombie tunnel with a whole bunch of zombies inside of it, and this actually ends up being our escape route. I earn a trophy for shooting this helicopter, and another one for defeating 30 special forces barehanded. We get injected with the serum, then let Isabella know about the cave that we found, and she creates an anti-zombie perfume so we have safe access to the cave and keeps the zombies away from us. When we finally get outside, we are stopped by a tank. Like, what? We take that out, and then out comes the big boss, Brock. He's the final boss and our ticket to freedom out of Willamette. Yeah, and this guy is the guy who led the Santa Cabeza cleanup operation. The final boss is on a tank in purely hand-to-hand combat. Pretty crazy that this photojournalist is fighting a military combat veteran and giving him the work. After the meanest flurry of fists that would make Mike Tyson scared, Brock goes down and we can finally end this nightmare. And that's Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. Amazing, amazing game. I enjoyed a lot of the changes that they made to this game while still staying true and keeping the same charm from the original. I also enjoyed the recasting of Frank West way more than Dead Rising 4, but we're not going to talk about that game. After the credits, we get confirmation that Frank escaped Willamette and earned the trophy Infinity Mode for unlocking Infinity Mode. And after my first playthrough, I had 27 out of the 51 trophies. So next was getting Zombie Annihilator for killing 53,594 zombies. Why this specific number? Well, it's the population of Willamette. I earned a trophy for starting up a new game from a clear save, and another one for unlocking every portrait in the notebook. Then I start the mind-numbing grind for 53,594 kills. This took me around 4 hours, but in that time I also unlocked a trophy for killing 10,000 zombies and reaching level 50, and on my way to a save point, the trophy Stunt Rider. There we go, finally, man. Zombie Annihilator. Defeat at least 53,594 zombies. The next trophies I unlock are Sharp Dresser for changing into 5 different costumes, and Clothes Horse for changing into all costumes in the mall. And during this time, we definitely had some interesting outfits. And now it's time we start another playthrough and go for the Saint trophy for getting 50 survivors out of the mall. I could have done this in my first playthrough, but I let a few survivors die on accident and didn't save the required amount. While going for Savior, I earned the trophy Carjacker for getting into the convict's car. I also never went over our prize for killing 53,000 zombies. It's the Mega Man Blaster. And this thing absolutely deletes bosses. I mean, look at how fast they die. And once I complete 72-hour mode, I have 49 survivors saved. And once I complete overtime mode, That makes Frank and Isabella 51, thus giving us the Saint trophy. And now with the two biggest grinds out of the way, it's just a bunch of cleanup from here. I get the trophy for taking pictures of all the PP stickers, Costume Party for putting 10 masks on zombies, Raining Zombies for knocking 10 zombies out of the way with a parasol, Zombie Road for walking 10 meters across zombies while using Zombie Ride, Nice Shot for hitting a golf ball over 100 meters, Juice Freak for making all drink combinations, and finally Rampage for defeating 100 enemies with a rocket launcher. The next trophies that I go for are the Grateful 8 and Tour Guide. The Grateful 8 is for escorting 8 women survivors at once, and in doing that we will get Tour Guide for escorting 8 survivors at once. But there's a very specific way you need to do this. Since only 8 survivors can be in the mall at once, this will require us to kill all the male survivors in order to get all female survivors to spawn in and join us. And the easiest way to do this is, when available, save Pamela and Heather in Paradise Plaza for 2, fast forward until you get to scoop above the law, kill Joe, rescue all 4 of the women to make 6 survivors, fast forward again until you see Nick and Sally hanging from the bunny, save Sally and kill Nick to make 7, and finally, head back to Paradise Plaza to rescue Jennifer from the cultists to make 8 and getting the 2 trophies. Now that is a very rough summary and not in depth at all, and there are a lot more steps to it. So feel free to look it up yourself, as it's not that hard to do, especially with the fast forward feature they introduced in this game, which is definitely the biggest quality of life change and the most helpful. And that just leaves 2 more trophies, 5-Day Survivor and 7-Day Survivor. These are acquired in infinite mode, and thanks to the fast forward feature, not too hard to obtain. In the original game, this took around 14 hours, but thankfully in this game, it takes around 90 minutes, so a drastic change from the original. But this still took me around 2 to 3 hours because I died twice. Don't ask how. However, there is some prep for this, like getting the 3 health magazines that boost the effectiveness of health items, making all milk, orange juice, coffee creamer, wine, well done steak, and golden brown pizza all full heals. And the method is stacking up on those items, fast forwarding time a few hours until you get 1 bar of health, and then eating or drinking one of these items to get back to full. Rinse and repeat, and make sure to not be like me and pay attention so you don't accidentally die. During my second attempt, I do get the trophy for 5-Day Survivor, but as soon as I was about to get 7-Day Survivor, I died again. So yeah, don't be like me and go to a place where zombies can still grab you. This really shouldn't be this hard. Like, this really shouldn't be this hard. I don't understand why it is. It's not hard, it's just I'm getting fucked. I'm getting fucked over. Right out of as I'm skipping time, I get grabbed by a zombie like that. But 3rd time's the charm, right? Well, yeah, it is actually. I earned the 7-Day Survivor trophy on my 3rd attempt and finally get our platinum trophy. Thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to watch another one of my videos. If you did enjoy, don't forget to hit the like button, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It helps me out a lot and I really appreciate it. And yeah, it's gonna be all from me, guys. I'll see you in the next one.